Is BSL really the best shaders? I have my personal winner at the end of this video, so if you want to hear it, stick around. Otherwise, you can see the comparison between BSL and RedHat Shaders. Both shaders are good in their own unique way, and we have some clips here that I made of parkour and just a build tour of some map that I found. The links are down in the description in case you want to check these out. Both shaders are for 1.19.3. Both shaders did well when it came to frame rate. I didn't really have any major lag even while I was recording. I do have a pretty decent computer with a 3060 Ti for graphics card and 16 gigabytes of RAM. However, I did find that the RedHat shaders had a massive, and I mean massive, impact to my PC. Sadly, my PC really wanted to go to the moon when it was using the RedHat shaders. BSL, on the other hand, worked really well for my PC and didn't take a lot of impact. As I was playing in the parkour, I found the atmosphere very nice and just more real when it came to the RedHat shaders. Even though BSL looked great in its own way, I did find the realism was fantastic for RedHat. The lighting did seem a little too bright for me, but I left the settings where they were because the light shaft is just fantastic in this shader, and BSL had a decent job on it, but it wasn't as realistic as RedHat. There is definitely a lot of settings that you can change. I didn't change a lot of the settings throughout the clips. In fact, it was very minimal and you can't really see the difference. I did turn off light shafts in the settings for RedHat so that you can see what it looked like without them, and they looked pretty good, but weren't nearly as realistic. Even with them off, I still think the lighting was better than BSL. Now, looking at the overall atmosphere, if you compare them in the build for the castle, you can see that BSL, in my opinion, had definitely a more beautiful look. While RedHat definitely had more realisticness to it, I liked the BSL effect where it fit with Minecraft a lot. The water for both of them looked pretty much the same. It wasn't anything fancy, and the lighting from the sun reflect, as you can see in this clip here, it doesn't look too great. I definitely prefer SUS Renewed when it comes to water, because this was just pretty bad. But if you're not spending too much time in the water when you're playing with these shaders, the world will look lively with either of these shaders. If you plan to go mining like a survival game, not just creative, BSL you were able to see a lot better. RedHat, it was more realistic, so it was harder to see in the dark. Even though that was the case, I do find that it was not too bad. It wasn't pitch dark, it was still kind of visible, and if you have dynamic lighting on, where you hold a torch in your hand, it'll definitely make the place look fantastic. I was originally going to apply a texture pack that had normal mapping on it. While BSL was functional and possible, RedHat, on the other hand, did not do too great. My PC completely froze and had to hard shut down. So now you definitely see the impact of RedHat shaders. So you definitely will need a beefy PC if you're going to do normal mapping with the RedHat shaders. BSL, on the other hand, looked just fine. If you want to see normal mapping with BSL, then you're going to want to check the link down in the description where I compare BSL with SUS Renewed. Continuing on to my personal opinion. My final decision for this was RedHat. The reason why is because RedHat just looked fantastic. Even though I had a major impact to my PC, if I'm only playing for maybe 30 minutes, it's not too bad. My PC did start warming up real bad, so I had to turn it off before I started this clip here and edited the video at all. So when it comes to looks, definitely RedHat. When it comes to performance, definitely BSL. The links to both of them are down in the description, and maybe I'll see you in that BSL versus SUS Renewed. Peace.